Hello everyone, today we will be practicing with Pandas. There are 30 questions and we will be answering them. First, let's take a look at our CSV file. It has 8 columns and 950 rows. This is how it looks like. Basically, let's get back. So the first question says download the test.csv file and store it in a data frame, and we run that, and we would like to show the first 3 rows of the data frame, and we're using the alloc function and the first 3 rows. Then we would like to delete the model column from our data frame temporarily. Since we're deleting it temporarily, we're going to choose the axis equals to 1, which is the column, and the inline is false. In place is false by default. So we run this and we don't have the model column anymore. And in question 4, we are going to delete the model column permanently using the assignment, not in place parameter, and we're going to use the del function, and over here we remove the model column. And then question 5, we're going to delete rows 1, 3 and 5 permanently. We're going to use in place, and we're going to print the first 4 rows of the data frame. We're using the drop function to drop the rows, and we're choosing the axis 0 because we want to reach the rows, and the in place is true. And then we're going to print the first 4 rows. Let's do that, and this is what we get. And in 6, we would like to calculate the mean of range column. We're going to get the column in our data frame, and we're going to use the mean function to get the result, and our range is 297.53. And now we would like to check how many F's we have in the type column, and then we want to replace them permanently with triple A's, and we want to show the first 5 rows. Then first we access the F in our data frame underneath the type column, and then with using lock we're going to change the F to AAA, and then we're going to print the first 5 rows. Let's go ahead and do that, and we can see that our F's are changed to A's, triple A's. And in 8, it wants us to get rid of the brackets and the $ from the cost column permanently and display the first 5 rows. Over here, as you guys can see, we have the $ and the brackets. We are going to get our column, and then we're going to replace the bracket with nothing, with empty, and then we're going to replace the other bracket with another empty one, and the $ with another empty one, and then we're going to print the first 5 rows. Let's do that. And over here we don't have it anymore, and our type of our cost column is going to be a series. And in question 9, it asks us to change the cost column data type to integer and display the result. So we're going to use as type function, and we're going to input integer as its parameter, and then we're going to print it, and then we're going to calculate the average of cost column, and then we're going to calculate the average of cost and cost for each continent column. So to calculate the average of the cost column, we're going to use the mean function, and our average is 54.5, and our average cost for each continent is roughly like this. And then we're going to calculate the mean, max, and standard deviation of the cost column, and then we're going to group by each continent all in one command. So we're doing this with group by, and we're getting the continent and then the cost, and we're aggregating with mean, max, and standard deviation, and this is what we get. We have the each continent on the left side, and then we have the mean, max, and standard deviation. And in number 12, we're going to calculate the mean, max, and standard deviation of all numerical columns, and then we're going to group by each continent all in one command. What we do is I set up a new data frame, which is a numerical one, and then in this data frame I'm only selecting the types that has numbers, which are numerical ones. And then underneath the continent column I am finding all of it, and then aggregating them as mean, max, and standard deviation by group buying, and then this is what we get. We have the continents, and then we have the mean, max, and standard deviation of the columns. And in 13, we're going to illustrate the mean of all numerical columns. We're going to use the continent column, and we're going to use a bar chart. How we do is that we get the matplotlib, and then we group by it with continent, and then we aggregate the mean, and then we plot it with the kind of bar, and this is what we get. And in 14, we're going to count the number of each continent in the continent column. We're going to use the value counts, and this is what we get. And in 15, we're going to show the percentage of each continent in the continent column. We're going to use the value counts, and normalizing is going to be equal to true, and this is what we get. And we're going to show the unique values in the continent column, and then we want to show the number of unique values that we have in the continent column. So let's run the unique values, and these are the unique values, and now we want the number of unique values, and now once we print this we have the number of the unique numbers as well. And we're going to use the value count method for the cost column and describe the output as command, which is here, but we're going to run this, and this is what we get. And the value counts basically returns a series containing counts of unique rows in the data frame, which means these are the unique rows in the data frame. And in 18, we're going to plot a histogram for the cost column. We are setting the kind of the plot as hist, and this is what we get. And as a bonus question, we're going to change the number of bins to 50, which shows more accurate results. So we just set the bins to 50, everything is the same, and when we run it we get better looking bars. And in 20, it asks how many missing values do we have in the zip code column, and how many missing values in the type column, and we're going to provide a brief summary of null values for the entire data frame. To find the missing values in the zip code column, we check whatever is null in the zip code, and we want to sum it up, and we have 9 missing values in the zip code column, and for the type column we only have 2. And null values in a data frame are missing values. That means there is nothing in the row. And in question 21, if we drop all the rows that have any missing value, how many rows will still remain in our data frame. How we do is that we drop na function, and we're choosing the how as any, and then the shape is 0, and we have 936 will remain in our data frame. And in 22 we're going to show the statistics for the type column using the value count method, including the non-values in the list, and we're going to check how many missing values we have. So we use value counts function, and drop na is false, and this is what we get. And we're going to replace the type column with we're going to replace the missing values in the type column with triple X, and we're going to show the result again. Okay, type column, the empty ones are filled with A, and the row numbers increased, as we can see. And in 24 we're going to drop the rows that have any missing value permanently, and we're going to show the number of rows after running the drop command. And we have now 938 remaining rows. In 25 we're going to set the ID column as new index and delete the index name. Then we're going to show the first 5 rows of our data frame, and then we're going to show the value of the cell that its ID is 70 and its column header is value. So first we're going to set the index of ID, and index is going to in place is going to be true, and then we're printing the first 5 rows, and this is what it looks like. And then we want to reach the cell that its ID is 70 under the value column, and it's this one. And in 26 we want to show the index columns, the shape of the current data frame, and then we want to bring back the ID column to the data frame and reset the index. Again, we want to show the index columns and the shape of the current data frame. So first let's show the index. This is what the index looks like, this is what our columns looks like, and this is the shape of our current data frame. And now we are going to bring back the index. Done. And then we're going to print the old index as what we had, and now we want to print the columns and then the shape. And right here we have the column right here. In 27 we're going to use the describe method to see the statistics of our data frame, and we want to fetch the value of the first row and the third column of the result. So what we want to do is that if you want the first row, rows are always on the written first, so we write 1 as our first row, and the columns are written as the second part, which is our third one, and then we want to describe it using the describe method, and then this is what we get. And in 28 we're going to sort the value counts of the continent column of our data frame, and then we're going to sort the value counts of the continent column based on the alphabetic order of the continents. And right here it's sorted alphabetically. And in 29 we're going to show all the columns of the following rows in one command. We want the rows 1, 3, 5 and 7. We want to show these ones. So once we run it, these are the 1, 3, 5 and 7 and then we want to print the first 7 rows of type and continent columns, and this is how it looks like. And in 30, lastly, we want to show the value of the type that are equal to triple X, and once we run it, these are the ones that are equal to triple X. Thanks for watching.